Hello guys, welcome back. This is SBECEGH. Today we're finishing with the BUC 2024 computing question that they wrote last year. Yeah, we are in 2025, so we're talking about 2024 BUC that they wrote. In fact, um, if you look at the practical question that came, in fact, most people didn't anticipate or even think about such a question, especially the diagram. You know, majority of the students and the teachers in the schools were anticipating question relating to programming here and there, but we didn't get a question like that, and it was all about health hazard. Nobody even anticipated that we will even get a figure like this to be answered. So this tells us how sometimes it's difficult for us to predict likely examination questions. Regardless, we are going to deliberate on this question, and by the time we are done, we've come to get some gems that will help us to also guess or predict likely examination question, right? So we will take our time to explain every point in this particular question that they wrote for you to understand. So you can take your pen and your paper so that you can jot something down. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel and also tell a friend to also watch the videos. And if you don't understand anything, as we always say, don't forget to leave the question in the comment section below so that we can help you out. If you're also thinking of any other video that we can make pertaining to a particular subject or relating to a computing concept that I don't understand, feel free to put it in the comment section below so that we can address that as well. Okay, without any further time wasting, I believe we can proceed. Now, we are done with the section A, that is the objective. Please, if you haven't watched the video, make sure you do that because we took our time to explain everything. Yes, and we're going to do the same thing for section B. Now, figure 1 shows computer users in a school's computer laboratory. Study the figure carefully and use it to answer question 1A to G. So this was the figure that was provided. Now, if you look at the figure, as you can see here, we have I, and IV. Now, the figure depicts, someone using a computer, and the posture of the person is different. So we have to answer some question relating to that. Now, question 1 says that, which of the users has assumed the correct sitting posture? The answer is obvious. As you can see, it is this guy. Now, why are you saying that? If you look at this one, the person has bent forward and the spine will have a problem. That is why they have put this thing here. And the guy too is too relaxed in the chair, which will not allow the person to type well. Obviously, it will affect the wrist. And this one too is even deadly. So this is the best way to sit. So the answer is IV, right? Okay, now let's move on to the next one. B. Prolonged use of the computer is associated with health-related problems. Suggest 2 possible safety measures. So it's all about safety measures the user could adapt to minimize workstation risks. So if you're using the computer, what and what can you do so that you don't get hurt when you are using the system? That is what this question is basically talking about. And I think so. One thing you can do is to ensure proper sitting and posture. You have to sit well. You can also take regular breaks, and all these are measures you can put in place. I believe you have much you can get from your textbook. This is not all that difficult. Now let's move on to the next question. 1C. The user were tasked to produce a 10-page document using Microsoft Word. Outline the steps to be taken by the users to set the entire document to 2.0 line spacing, right? Now, what is the meaning of this? For a fact, if you don't understand the question itself, it will be very difficult for you to go ahead to even answer. So, basically, the question is talking about someone using or you using Microsoft Word, like what I'm using now, and you want to set up the um, page line spacing. You want to talk about line spacing, it's talking about the line between what each words or statement on a line, as you can see. So A is one line, B So the space between this is what we're talking about, the line spacing. And they're saying that what step will you take so that you change the space to 2.0. So let's see how we're going to do that. So the best thing you can do is to highlight the entire document. You see, so if this is the document I want to change the spacing to 2 points, so first highlight it. Now, when you highlight it, then you come to the paragraph section here. Then you click on this small arrow. You see, these are the line spacing. So we have 1.0, we have 1.0, 1.15, sorry, we have 1.5, and we have 2.0. So if I should hover the mouse pointer, even though I haven't clicked, but I'm seeing the effect, right? If I should click on it right now, I'll be able to what? Achieve that. So let me click on it. So I have achieved that. So the steps is simple. Highlight the text or highlight the entire document. Then move the mouse pointer, click on home. Sorry, you have to click on home. Then under the paragraph section, click on line and paragraph spacing. Then you click on what? 2.0. Once you're able to do that, you achieve it. Okay, so that is the answer to that particular question. And let's go to the next one. The users were to type a report using Microsoft Word to be presented in class. So here to Microsoft Word, another question was asked. User 1 typed 10 pages, that is user 1, within 3 hours. User 2 typed 8 pages within 4 hours. And user 4 typed 6 pages within 2 hours. Sorry, supposed to be 2 hours here. Suggest 2 Microsoft Excel chart types that would be most appropriate to show the relationship between the number of pages each user typed and the time spent in typing, right? So even though the question is very long, as you can see, but we only need something. It's all talking about types of, charts. So what are some of the charts we can use in Microsoft Excel? So the answer, we have pie chart, we have bar chart. I think I have the answers here. So we have pie chart, we have bar chart, we have line chart, and we have column chart. So all these are examples of charts we can use to achieve that. Okay, let's go to the next question. The users have been using their computer as standalone. Stage 2 benefit they will derive when their computers are networked. Okay, now first let's understand what a standalone computer is. The computer is standing on its own. In short, that is what we can say. So if the computer is standing on its own, then basically it is not connected to any device or any other network. That is why they are saying what will be some of the benefits if that computer is connected to other networks. So please don't forget the definition. So when we say a standalone computer, it's basically a computer that works independently without being connected to a network device. So it could be a laptop, it could be a desktop computer you are using, but that particular laptop is not connected to any other network. So it is standing on its own. It can work on its own. It is not connected to any other network. Now the question says that what are some of the benefits we can get if we were to connect this standalone computer to any other network? And we have, so users can share resources like printers, files, and other things. So if you connect your computer or your system with any other network, you'll be able to share files, right? So that is basically the answer. Okay, let's speed up a little. Okay, F. As a networking consultant, suggest 2 network topologies that could be used to network the computers for the users. So we have bus topology, we have ring topology, we have but again we even have tree topologies. So all the topologies you can think of, these are the answers they are talking about, and you can get them from your textbooks. Okay, let's go to the G. The following activities were given to each user to type using MS Word. They were to use MS Publisher to produce a flyer with the typed document to be displayed on the notice board of each class. Now, these are the information. So, 1. School routine activities. 7:30 a.m. is morning assembly. 7:40 a.m. classes as 7:40 a.m. 9:40 a.m. morning break. 10 a.m. classes as and 7:30 p.m. afternoon break. 1 p.m. classes hours and 7:30 p.m. closing, right? Now, the question continues. As a programming student, write an algorithm to demonstrate the activity. So you are learning programming and they are asking you write an algorithm that will demonstrate all of this activity. Before, what is an algorithm? Algorithm is a step-by-step approach that is used to finish a task, if I would say. So assuming if you want to prepare, let's say a meal, let's assume you want to prepare, fufu. You can't just start. You have to start from somewhere, right? So the first thing you will do is to peel up the cassava and the plantain, whatever. You wash it. Step two, you set your fire on, then you put them inside, you fan it for some time before you pound and the food will be ready. So all these series of steps that you go through to achieve your desire is what we call algorithm. Now, you see, WAEC is shifting from, asking theoretical questions to practical questions. This is a practical programming question that was asked. And if you don't know what algorithm is and how algorithm is written, it's very difficult for you to answer a question like this. See the way the question was asked. See? Okay, now let's take our time to deliberate on the correct answer to this particular question. So this is the answer we can give to the question. So you just write the algorithm. Algorithm is a step-by-step approach. You start from somewhere, you end. So if the time is 7:30, then we go to assembly, we end it. If the time is 7:40, then class will start, we end it. If the time is 9:40, morning break, we end it. If the time is 10 a.m., classes will resume, we end it. If the time is 12:30 p.m., afternoon will come. If the time is 1 p.m., classes resume. Then if the time is 2:30, then closing time. So this is the answer to this particular question. Make sure you understand what algorithm is and practice more on that because it is a likely question for this year's BECE exams. Okay, now let's further the question. Question 2. Now describe the processor of a computer to colleague in your class. So what is a processor? A processor is also known as the CPU, and the CPU is the brain of the computer, right? And the brain does all the thinking activity. Okay, so let's see. The processor, also known as the brain of the computer, it executes instructions from programs by performing basic arithmetic, logic, control, and input and output operations specified by the instructions. So it all boils down to be saying that the processor does the thinking, the arithmetic operations, the control, the logic instruction, the input and output operations by the computer's instruction. So it oversees that. So without the processor, it's very difficult for the computer to work, right? Now, 2BA, it says study figure 2 carefully and use it to answer the question that follows. So this is what they're talking about. Probably you have seen this image before. If you buy most of the items now, you see something like this on it. What is the name? And that is what the question was asked. Write the name of this figure shown here and describe to your colleague how the image shown is assessed for information, right? Okay, so the image is called QR code, right? It's a QR code. Okay, now to access the information from the code, what you have to do is that you open the QR code scanner on your smartphone. If you don't have a smartphone, you can use a tablet and you should have the application that will help you to open. So you open the QR code scanner from your mobile phone. Then what you do is that you point the camera at the QR code, then the scanner will decode the code and provide you the information. So that is that, right? Okay, let's go to the next question. File extension is very important in naming a file. List three file extensions to be presented in the next computing class. So when we talk about file extension, it's the last three letters after dot that is found in file name. And their main purpose is to help you identify what type of file you are particularly using. So what are some of the file extensions we know? So we have .doc. This one is for Microsoft Word. We have .xls for Microsoft Excel. We have mp4.mp4. mp4 is for movie, right, or video file. We have mp3. mp3 is for music. So all these are examples of what file extension. Now let's go to number 3. The head teacher of ABCGHS bought the following items for the school: 10 footballs for 2,000 Ghana cedis, 20 notebooks for 400 Ghana cedis, 50 pens for 250 Ghana cedis, 8 registers for 240 Ghana cedis, and 2 laptops computers for 7,000 Ghana cedis. Now let's see the question. Now, how many columns and rows are needed to create a table for the head teacher's item, but including ABCGHS as heading for the table without the serial numbers of the item? This is a very nice question, but if you don't understand the question, that one too is going to be a little harder for you to understand. Now we have this information, right? So obviously we will draw a table, then we fill in the cells of the table using this what particular information. So let's get back to the question. So we have 10 footballs, which worth 2,000, 20, 400, 50 pence, 250, 8 registers, 240, and 2 laptops for 7,000. Usually, when you are making a table or drawing a table for information like this, you have to get a serial number so that the first column will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. And they are saying that we don't need the serial numbers. So, how many columns are we going to need? That is the question and rules. So it's simple. We need only 3 columns and 7 rows, or you can say we need 3 columns and 6 rows, right? So this is what we'll be needing to help us achieve that. Now let's see the steps that will help us to achieve that. So one, we open Microsoft Word here, as I have opened or I'm using. Go to the Insert tab and click Table. So Insert tab here and click Table. So I haven't selected any place, so you have to select from here. 3 columns, 1, 2, 3, and 6 rows. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So then after that, you type in the information inside. Okay. So then you select 3 columns and 7 rows. So click on the selected number of columns and rows to create the table. Okay. Now let's go to the next one. Outline the steps. Okay, we are done with that. Now, the file size of representation created by a student is too large to be sent through an email to a friend. Suggest one possible reason for the large files. If you are sending an email to a friend and you can't send it, then possibly the file contains a video or an image that is big or large. So it can cause that. So you can keep that in mind. Now C says, state one feature of Microsoft Publisher. Publisher is an application program that is used basically for designing flyers and stuff. So what are some of the features we can see in Microsoft Publisher? That is what the question is talking about. Okay. Okay, so some of the features of Microsoft Publisher include a feature to insert image. You have the feature to also use columns. You have the feature to edit existing images and photographs. There's a feature that allows you to create original graphics and collaborate and share publications too. All these are answers to this particular question. Now the next one, study the Microsoft Excel worksheet carefully. and use it to answer the question that follows, right? So we have one, two, three, four, five, six columns in a row. So name of students, term one, term two, term three, whatever. Write a function in Microsoft Excel to determine the lowest termly score of Kofi Malik. So let's look for Kofi. So this is Kofi, right? And we have term one, he had 86, term two, 75, then term three, he had 88. Now the total score was 246. As you can see, the termly score that he had, they are not the same. The list is 75, and they're saying that as someone learning programming or computing, write an Excel function that will help us so that we get what the least or the lowest score. So the function to be used is the mean. So equal to mean, and you put in what this. So B2 is to B2 is to D2 D2. So this is the answer to the question. So the system will automatically select this and give you the 75 because that is the least that we can get. Okay. Now the next one, 4. Computer networks come in several topologies. State two features of the ring topology. Okay, so answer to that question. It uses repeaters to boost the signal strength. That is one. It improves communication link and fidelity. That one too is there. Data transmission is on. Sorry. Okay. It is also faster as compared to other topologies. So this is the answer to that particular question. Let's move on to the next one. Abu, the leader of a class, does not understand how to use the forward all feature in an email to send a message to everyone in the class. Explain to Abu what forward all means. So in an email interface, when we say forward all, it's a feature that allows the sender to send to all the recipients the original message, including any attachment. So that is what forward all. So when you use forward all in an email interface, you have the opportunity to send what the message to all other recipients. So that is that. Now the next one says a computing teacher has given a class an assignment to design a block. What two design features should be used to design the block? Wow. If you are designing a blog, what is even a blog? A blog is basically a sample website used for discussion. And so, what are some of the features that you expect to see in a blog? So, a blog should have a header and a title. It should have a sidebar. It must also be responsive. You might not understand all of this, but we'll be showing videos on how to design websites and stuff from time to time, so you understand all of this. Now the next one, write the name of one tool that can be used to design the blog. So one thing that you can use to design the blog is we have the Blogger, we have the Pixpar, we have the Wix, we have WordPress. I think I have the answers, so let me show them to you. Okay, so WordPress, you have Medium, you have Pixpar, you have Wix. All these are programs you can use to create your own blog. Okay, now let's go to question number 5. Question 5. In computing operation, expressions are evaluated using operator precedence approach. Follow the approach and evaluate the expression. This. So we have into bracket 1 plus 3, then times 5 plus 7. Now using operator precedence, that is the board mass rule, let us solve this. Okay, let's see how it's going to be. So board mass says board mass. So B stands for bracket. So which means you are going to solve everything in the bracket first, right? And O is off if you have any other operations to be performed like the modulo and the rest. Then D is for division, M for mathematics, um, M for multiplication, A for addition, and S for subtraction. So let's first check. Do you have any bracket? Yeah, we have a bracket. So let's first solve the operation in the bracket first. So let me copy it here. Okay, so even if the bracket still, we will still consider the board mass Do we have any off operation? No. Do you have a division? No. Do you have multiplication? No. Do you have addition? Yes. So we will add. So it's going to be 1 plus 3 giving you 4, right? So now it left with times 5 plus 7. Okay, now let's continue. So what do we have? We are done with the bracket. Do you have division? No. Do you have multiplication? Yes. So 5 times 4, 5 for 20. So we get 20, then we get our plus 7. Okay, we are done with division. We are done with multiplication. Do you have addition? Yes. So 20 plus 7 give us 27. Then we are done. So this is the steps you will follow so that you'll be able to solve any operation like that. I will have a separate video on how to solve board mass using the operator precedence, right? Using the operator precedence. So watch out for that video. Okay, now the next one. How would you describe the term decomposition to a friend who was not in class when it was taught? What is decomposition? So decomposition is a term used in programming. So when programmers are creating codes or creating a program or software, you see software creation is a little difficult. So they break it into simple components that they will be able to follow or simple algorithm that they will follow. So when we say decomposition, it's basically the process of making a difficult task easier by breaking them into smaller pieces. That is decomposition. Now, C. Mention 3 software packages that are used in the construction of robotic artifacts. Right? So robots, if you want to construct a robot, what are some of the software you can use? So we have MBoot, we have the VBoot, we have the Snap, we have Scratch. I think let me show you the answers here. Okay, so EV3, MBoot, VBoot, Snapchat, Scratch. So these are what we have here. Okay, then the last one that brings everything to a halt. Write a possible if-then statement for an imagery expert system. To execute the statement, you are a man day born and a female, which means you are called Ajua. I like the question. This is a typical programming question. Yes, I will use JavaScript to help you to understand. Yes. Now, it is an if-then statement. If-then statement is used all the time in programming, and they are assuming that you learning programming, you have a little knowledge. So, assuming you are working for this company, which is an imagery expert system, use and write an if possible statement that says that you are Monday born and female, which means you are Ajua. Now, what do we need so that we're able to understand this? We need a variable. If you remember, you were taught in class, variables are more or less like containers or boxes in which what data or values are being saved. So we need one variable that will store the day in which the person was born, and another one too that will store what the gender, which is female, before we were able to write the if then statement to produce this what answer. Okay, now let's try and see. Let me use VS Code to get that for you. So let me open try 6. I think I don't have any code doing this, so I think I can use this one. Okay, so H1 BECE 2024 question. Okay, so let me open with my okay, so that you understand, well, okay, now let's go back to the console so that you understand well. Okay, let's come here. Okay, so it's JavaScript we are using. So script. So now let's assume that we are the imagery expert company and we want to write an if statement so that we will get to know that if you are Monday born and you are female, then obviously you are Adwa, right? So as I said earlier, you need to create some variables. So to create a variable in JavaScript, you use let. So let's say day born. So let's give it day born name equal to, okay, you know what? Let's use prompt function. I think that will be very simple. So prompt and write a question. So what day, so let me put it inside. So what day you born? So we will input. Okay. You create another one, gender. So call gender. Then that one to use prompt. So um what is your gender? Gender. Okay. Then we get another one. Let results. So results is going to be, okay, I don't even need this one. So let's continue. So we have the first variable and the second variable. Now we are coming to write the condition so that we're able to get what we really want, right? Okay. So if that is what we are writing, if they born this variable, it contains a prompt. The system will give us the prompt, then we will enter the value. Don't worry. When I'm done, I will do it for you to see. So if they born, so I'll enter this one. They born is exactly equal to the string Monday. At the same time, end. If you remember the end operator, okay. At the same time, if gender, that is this one. So let's see gender. If gender is exactly equal to, you say female, right? Female. If all this condition is true, so it means that if the system should prompt us what we should enter, if we enter Monday exactly, at the same time when we enter female, then let's console to see console. Then it means you are called Ajua. Good. If it is not so, else you are not called Ajua. Simple. So let's try and see if it will work. Yeah, supposed to work. So let me refresh the page. So the system asking, what day were you born? I'll say I was born on Monday. Monday. Okay. Then the system asks again, what is your gender? Female. Now, if I click on, okay, see what will happen here. You are called Ajua. Perfect. Now, let's check it again and input another one. Let's say Tuesday. Tuesday. Okay. Then this one is going to be, let's say, male. See the answer that we'll get. What happened? Sorry. I should have answered console. I didn't console this. Console.log. I'll put the whole of this inside brackets. Okay, so you are called Ajua. Okay, so let me try it again. So you were born on Tuesday. Okay. You are a male. You are not called Ajua. But if, what day were you born? Okay, Monday. I was born on Monday. Then you are a female. Boom. you are called Ajua. So it is a typical programming question that you were given, right? But take it easy, it's not difficult. There are tens and thousands of information that you will get from this channel. Please, all you have to do is that subscribe to this channel and don't forget to leave any question as a comment in the section below so that we can also address it. So the answer to this particular question is simple. So it could be something like this. If increase it so that you see it. So if birthday is equal to Monday and gender equal to female, then you are called Ajua. So that is everything that your colleagues they wrote last year. And we are expecting 2025 BEC. What are some of the questions you think is going to come? That is what the next video we are going to address. So watch out. Bye bye.